Hello, welcome back to this series of mine of me rewatching Puppy Playtime. Now this time is the third chapter. But first thing first, I wanna remind to myself for the end of chapter 2. So Poppy changed the direction of the train, and then Poppy got shocked. After that, somehow the train speed up. The person who changed the train speed, it must be someone who wants to injure Poppy or the player. It could be the player because Poppy is such a precious thing, a character for the tyrant king in this company. So, who is it? Maybe the prototype. So, the prototype sounded like a baron who let his daughter to go on an adventure to see how dangerous the life outside the castle. So it's like some education, so that in short, hey, you're safer in this castle, so why don't you just accept that I want to catch you in or isolated you in this castle? You get what I mean? Okay, now let's get into it. Chapter 3, my reaction, my commentary, my theory, my questions, my everything. Guys, I have a question. So in real life, Huggy Wuggy is much more popular than Poppy Playtime, the doll. So in the game, both of them are very popular, Huggy Wuggy and Poppy Playtime. Yeah, my phone is error again. But which one is the more popular one in the game? Is it Huggy or Poppy? But I think Poppy is really special though. She got like a reputation that she can talk to kids. By the way, I have a question about that. Does it mean, do you guys know the clone theory? What if wait, is Playtime joking around about Poppy can talk, Poppy can answer? Is it just for the sake of the advertisement so that people get curious about this doll and buy them? Or the dolls can talk, really talk, just like Poppy? Does it mean that the others Poppy dolls are like the original Poppy? Sometimes I'm thinking about the clone. Do you guys know the clone theory? What if the daughter of the CIO, the founder of blah blah blah, is the daughter, the daughter of Elliot Ludwig? What if he's cloning her? Like hundreds. So all of those Poppy can be alive. His daughters, his hundreds million daughters. Okay, yeah, just my phone is error. Yeah, it's okay. While we're waiting for my phones to be normal again, don't be sick. You're not cheap, okay? You're like from 5 years ago, but you're not cheap. Well, you're a gift, but still you're not cheap. So please don't be sick. So I have homework for Mob Entertainment. We knew that there's a newsletter No, the newsman, what you call it again, said something about catnap, right? So, what was the reaction of those journalists about the disappearance of thousands or hundreds of people in Playtime Go in one day? What was their reaction? So maybe after they noticed something wrong, like the cars when people visiting that company, there should be cars like parked everywhere, like abandoned everywhere near the company, right? So there should be people trying to investigate what's happening. So I'm thinking, what if after that the journalists, the police, they were killed too in that company? So because that place is so dangerous, the police, the government gave an order to close that place so that people won't visit that place and abandon them truthfully, even though there are still many mysteries. Is this what happened? And we knew that people love vlogging, like adventuring in abandoned places, right? Like abandoned house, they're trying to figure out things there. What if there are adventurers visiting that Playtime Co, and then those people are missing too? Maybe Huggy Wuggy killed them because he's a security, of course. But why did the Huggy let the player alive for a while? Maybe before. So there someone sent the letter. So Huggy got noticed that, hey, this person, you must not kill that person. He's important for a while. Maybe, I don't know. Don't know. It depends who sent the letter. Okay, I have questions again. So we knew that there are play care and like the slide downs very down to the earth, and then game station, and then prison area, laboratories and things, and so many children and resources. And okay, the point is, how rich is Ludwig with Pierre, investors, and the higher-ups? How rich are they? So Poppy Playtime, the doll, is very terkenal, popular in a worldwide, so they sold out a lot. But is it enough to cover all of that things? Do they have like a backup from the government, like from inside country and outside country? We knew that there are Russian and German language in VHS. Do they have backup from those countries too? Plus, play care. Orphanage, there should be some inspection at some time for every orphanage in this world, right? How could they get away with those inspection and of course for a toy factory and things there should be inspection too for quality, right, from the government or things like that. How could they get away from all of that? They should have a backup, right? Maybe from the military. I'm thinking about military because they create monsters to be a biological weapon, maybe, so they invest in those experiments, whatever they need to do experiments. There should be backup, right? They couldn't just get away from that without backup from something powerful organizations, right? Guys, do you notice? Do you still remember that about the VHS about Elliot Ludwig, his empire or something? Does he have like a god complex, like a king complex? He wants to be something powerful, like a king, emperor or something. If he does it mean the prototype is him? Because the prototype has some kind of that kind of complex too, that kind of syndrome thing. Like, seriously, how rich are they? They dig out the earth, the earth. I have no idea what is it in English. How rich are they? They need sponsors, investors, and government and military to do all of these things. And of course the great lawyer and hakim, judge. Yep. The most important thing, what is it? What's the families, the victim families' reaction, and other police, journalists, citizens about all of these disappearances? The only reason I can think is they killed everyone trying to figure out in that factory, so that place is too dangerous for everyone to go in, and then the government closed it. That's the only thing I can understand. But somehow the player could get to that place. Well, probably the player is dumb. Or maybe this person felt guilty. If the player is PW, there could be a high chance that the player is very care about the other employees, because PW criticize a lot about the safety so that his friends won't die again. So probably the player is that. But the thing is, there must be another reason why. The doctor guessed that it's love, but what kind of love? Towards family? So I think that there could be like two Dr. White. So maybe his twin brother, Bruno White and PW. Maybe his, I don't know, older family, like father, grandpa, uncle, or someone. I haven't watched anything and my battery is 2%. A week later, after my phone's errored, and I got lazy and I got busy with studying things. I don't really remember what I've talked about, so I'm gonna talk about something else. So if the toy company put Poppy Cass in Catnap's mini plush, does it mean they really put something else, like more dangerous thing, in other toys, like for Poppy Playtime's toys, dolls? Did they put like her hair? So they said her hair smells like poppy flower. Does it mean her hair is like made from poppy flower, and she can talk. I don't know if it's just advertisement or Poppy doll can talk, all of them, not just the original one, I don't know. But the thing is, they put NDA, like, so the doll is very expensive at that time. There's a high chance people don't wanna open the doll because there's an NDA or something said you must not open this doll without the professional from the Playtime factory, or you can't get any money back if you broke it. So did they like put and change the toys into living organism only inside the factory, or they sell the toys, living organism toys too, to outside? Did they do that? Or those experiments only in factory? I think it's only in factory, because if they sell living organism toys, there's a high chance that they would get sued, so they won't do that, right? And the toys could bleed. They're probably gonna end up in laboratories or get exorcised. But the main thing is the company would get sued, so there's no way they will do that, right? About the news, I heard that Poppy Playtime and Huggy Wuggy got into the news. The parents are angry about Huggy Wuggy, and is this like sarcasm or ironic or whatever you call it, like, hey, we've been in the news, and this is their warning, their own warning style about this game is not for kids. Maybe that's the connection. And yeah, this game is not for kids. If you're a parent, take care of your kids. This is for like a teenager, young adult, or adult who loves colorful things and horror, but light horror and mystery and science fiction. This suits for those people. So how's the player's condition after the train crash? Why Catnap just put the player in trash, I have no idea what you call it in English. Something place that can crush trashes, So did Catnap see Poppy? Well, I think Poppy haven't got reunited with Kissy because they reunited in front of Home Sweet Home. So there's no way. So my first prediction, like Kissy just take Poppy and forgot the player, it didn't work. Kissy is nice for now, at least. She's adorable bestie girlhood, yay. If she could have Poppy, she would have saved the player. So maybe Poppy, the thing is, Catnap didn't take Poppy. It means that probably Poppy ran away when she got chance and hiding in ventilation because she's too small to help the player. Maybe she woke up, she wanted to wake the player, but the thing is, Catnap is there, so she ran away fast because she can't just bring the Catnap menggendong catnap. What is menggendong in English? But what if catnap got Poppy? Well, catnap probably gonna take Poppy to the prototype, right? I wonder why the prototype can't take Poppy all these chapters. Maybe because she's hiding in ventilation, and you know, she's small and the prototype is giant. But why the prototype didn't send smiling critters or small toys to Poppy? Chase her in ventilation? Okay, I've blubbered. Where did I stop? I stopped recording. First, no, maybe I forgot. Where did I stop? Why the prototype didn't send smiling critters to ventilation first? Maybe Poppy and the prototype was working together. I don't know. The second, maybe he wants to test Poppy too. How far she would defy him? She would reject his plan. Third, I don't know. Maybe the prototype wants to observe things. Yeah. How? Yeah, just the same, whatever. But why catnap didn't kill the player though? There's one. There's one possibly order from the prototype. The prototype needs the player for something, maybe to help to cure Poppy because she's getting redder every day, or maybe the prototype's gonna use the wants to use the player's body to be human again. It's a bit mainstream, but if you want to do that, it's okay. That's maybe one of the point of wanting to be immortal, like human got sick and then turned into a toy, and then a human again, and then maybe some clones. I don't know the theories. Why didn't the prototype kill the player though? Testing for what? So maybe the prototype testing how perfect the player is. The doctor said that the player is something that the prototype can't be. Maybe human, or maybe is this about connection with Poppy? What's the player has that the prototype don't have? Maybe the way Poppy is dependable with the player a lot. So we knew that the prototype wants Poppy to like more depend on the prototype on him. Maybe the humanity, maybe the guilt, maybe the hand, crabback. I don't know. So there are theories or speculation about the prototype. It's not Elliot Ludwig. If it's Elliot Ludwig, it's just too easy. Not so plot twist. Well, maybe it's because they're good at giving us puzzles, clues there and there. Hey, we gave you these. You're just gonna have to take the kesimpulan, the summary of that, the education about that. Maybe they're so good at giving clues that we knew we can smell whatever they want, whatever the lore they want from afar. But, well, it's too mainstream. But is there any high chance that the prototype is not Elliot Ludwig? Who? But who? Who got connection with Poppy but it's not the prototype? Maybe Ollie, maybe her twin brother, sibling, boyfriend, husband, grandpa, uncle, bestie? What? By the way, I'll say this before I forgot. So there are complex puzzles around this company. They say that the higher-ups say that it's to make the job fun and things, but maybe we remember that the higher-ups really love testing things, right? Maybe they want to test the employees too. If they have like rare talent, they're probably just gonna take them as experiments too. Do you remember that the doctor said something about the player that he's a hidden gem? The player is a hidden gem. How could the Playtime doesn't know about the player? Doesn't know about how perfect the player is, how talented the player is at solving puzzles, killing monsters, using strategic things. Maybe the higher-ups just want to test the employees. So one of the things I dislike about watching the gameplays when this chapter came is because it's so dark. I don't know if it's because I haven't pulled the highlight monitor. My phone is like not full, or maybe the game setting. It's just in short, they're so dark. They're so dark that I feel like it's not the same franchise anymore. And I rewatched this gameplay by the archivist. They look good. They're bright. Probably my phone setting, or maybe his game setting. I don't know. But it's much enjoyable when I can watch the things I watch. My grandma is bad. Why Catnap only talks all this time? I mean, the boss fight is different, fresh, and I appreciate that. But the thing is, one of the things I didn't like about this chapter is because it doesn't feel like they put all of Catnap's talents, potential in this chapter. I don't know, maybe he's just a cat, maybe how much he can be faster than the normal cat. I don't know, I feel like I didn't see the Catnap's all potential. I wonder how it felt like for the player, that the player must go to whatever the Catnap's going. Wait a minute. I mean, why? Why did Catnap put the player to that composure, that place in the first place? Why? Just to see if the player is gonna wake up or not? Wait a minute, what did the fan remember about the player? So if it's only the scientists, we've heard that many times. Maybe we've heard that before, and if the developers see that again, it's just repetitive. So Fan said that he asked, "Hey, wanna know what I remember about you?" and then screams. Does it mean that Fan remembers about the player not as scientist but as someone not scientist before? And by the way, is this like the cutout? Is this like real time recording? The scream is like they got killed after wanting to say something or what? By the way, about those cutout screams, I don't know what I feel about them. They're like funny, so that I feel like I can't feel empathy for them as much as I want it to be, because they're so fun and goofy. Maybe that's the point. But the thing is, it's like, it's not there. It doesn't fit there. Is it like for dark joke or something? I don't know. I want to feel empathy for them, but they just sound weird. I'm not a fan of that. And it could be like an illustration about how they're dying, like Hoppy. Hoppy is like falling, right? So the way the scream sounds like, ooh, you know? The point is, who is the player? Player is not just a scientist? Or what? Is player even a scientist? So now that we know that Ollie is the prototype, basically he loves talking, right? He loves rambling, yapping, just like Poppy. I wanna talk about how real Ollie and Poppy could be friends. So Poppy asked that if is Ollie even real? It means that she hasn't met Ollie, the real Ollie. So they're like parasocial bestie, right? They're only discussing over the phone. So it means that who called who first? Maybe Ollie was like calling something, but then it turns out he picked the wrong number, and then it turns into Poppy's phone. So maybe Poppy is like sad, and then Ollie asks, "Why are you sad?" And then they become besties after that. Maybe. Just maybe. Who are you, Ollie? You're supposed to be important. So this game is called Poppy Playtime. It means that someone close with Poppy is like very important. So Ollie is like one of her besties. So Ollie is important, right? Where are you, Ollie? Now that we know that fake Ollie is the prototype, let's learn more about his voice lines. So the prototype doesn't want the player to die, but for what? And where is he again? So he can give the player and Poppy's like the keys. Where is he? So if the scientist, if the player is a scientist or any adult, the player must be very smart, right? At least smart. Not as naive as Poppy, not as denial as Poppy. So did the player got confused why there's still a kid in here? Right? Okay, let's see if there's like 5 years old at play care. Maybe at least the kid will be 15 in this factory now. Or maybe there was a baby in the factory before the hour of joy, so now at least that kid is like 10 years. Yes, there could be a kid here, but the thing is, Poppy trusts Ollie enough, so Ollie must be like 10, right? At that time, so maybe Ollie now would be 20, right? The point is, didn't the player got confused why there's still a kid now? The player should be like smart, right? If he's a scientist. If he's PW, then he must knew that there should not be a kid in here now, right? And if the player is a scientist, was a scientist, he should know that the prototype could mimic voices, right? Then why did he not tell Poppy about that? If he's mute, why didn't he like write something and then tell Poppy? Why the player did everything Poppy asked? He should be smarter than this. He should be smarter than Poppy. Well, Poppy could be smart, but the thing is, she's in prison, she's in laboratorium, she was dead when she was young, so she's in denial, got PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and she got manipulated, so she's isolated too. She grew to be a naive and denial girl, a woman, I don't know. So the player should be like better than her at figuring things out, right? Why? The player, why? Are you like a pushover, the player? Or are you like hiding something, By the way, in chapter 2, have Poppy and Ollie reunited? Oh, I don't think so, because she got trapped in Mommy Longleg's web, right? Okay. So the prototype said the player is their mission. Poppy and the prototype's mission. The prototype needs the player to do Poppy. So the prototype told Poppy to tell the player to do things. So maybe destroy Safe Haven and destroy, what's his name again? Doi, because Doi could potentially hurt the prototype if he's a bit smart than that or braver than that, but Doi's priority is the kids. So if Poppy lost all of her friends, she would get stressed out and doesn't have choice to depend on the prototype. Maybe if they're together, what they want to do. Seriously, if they're working out together, what they want to do to the player, the human thing, or to cure Poppy. Maybe cure Poppy because the prototype wants to put Poppy in case again somehow. I don't know. For Poppy's mission, if she's not working together with the prototype, she wants to kill the prototype and destroy all of the examples and files and samples, DNA samples from the living organisms, so there won't be any more experimentation after this. Okay, let's talk about Ollie's voice actors. In chapter 3, we knew there's something going on, something's wrong with Ollie, because he sounded like a person trying to imitate other person. You get what I mean? It's like he's trying to impersonate Dora, you know? Together we can save a lot of people. You get it? In chapter 4, we knew that the voice actor changed because I heard that he's he hits puberty right now, so he can't voice a kid again, a boy kid again. The thing is, now in chapter 4, he sounded more like feminine. Good job for trying your best, the voice actor, but the thing is, I dislike inconsistency. In chapter 3, he sounded like masculine. In chapter 4, he sounded like more feminine. It could be like the mask is falling. It could be the mask is falling, like the prototype couldn't keep his act together. He can't act again like Ollie. He forgot to act like Ollie, maybe. So maybe that could be the reason. Honestly, I dislike inconsistency. The thing is, Ollie doesn't feel like Ollie. Well, he's fake Ollie, but the voice actor doesn't give the vibe. I wonder if the prototype lied about we could save a lot of people, including you. Whoa, I mean, what does he want to do with the player, huh? There's something bothering me. Why in like control room or CCTV room in near Playcare, there's a note. They light the notes, but we can't read the notes. Why? By the way, did the doctor see the player from here? By the way, I really love the Playtime co's obsession with color yellow. I mean, the player figure looks like a bald yellow with grab bag. It looks so cute and iconic. So there's a writing, face awaits those who believe. What does it mean? Are you sure it's face? Face awaits those who believe. If I'm thinking about face, I remember about the weird face mask every time with Pierre saying something, and it appears in Mommy Longlegs chapter 2 VHS. So Chicken probably trying to be outside or run away from the factory, but the building, but something's killing the chicken. Who? Maybe Catnap, maybe the prototype. About Poppy Play Park, is Poppy gonna be a Deutera an important character again in that game? Well, it's her name after all, and she's like Elliot Ludwig's business pride. Is she gonna be still alive at that game? Or maybe it was before it was before this game, the timeline. So who's gonna be the protagonist though? Let's talk about Elliot Ludwig. I think he's a type of a person that he doesn't realize that what he's doing is wrong. He thought what he's doing is nice, like giving orphanage, protect children, but in reality he doesn't realize that he's hurting them. The thing is, he's so confident with his thoughts that people think what he thoughts are the normal thing. So like the people follow him without a second thought because he believes what he's saying. It's in VHS in chapter 4, I think. People don't realize that they got manipulated by him. Does he even realize that he's manipulating people? Well, and maybe Poppy is in denial that her father is a good person. And about the thing that Elliot Ludwig's loves the most in this world is chicken. I mean, love. So he doesn't feel love before after he probably doesn't love his wife. That's why he's thinking more about the work than the wife, so they got this divorce. After that, there's a theory that he adopted Poppy, so he's trying to love her with his whole heart. But when she's dead, she got overprotective. So tragic death. What kind of tragic death? Did she got killed? What kind of accident? Did she got sick? So Elliot Ludwig's mission is to make a place where kids would be safe, protected from everything in play care. What kind of safe for Poppy? Was she sick? That's why Poppy's red is like very red from now on. So when I watched the chapter 3 for the first time, I almost forgot that I was watching a game, not a movie. It's so high quality and beautiful and aesthetic. And so detailed. The way the prototype act like fake Ollies is just funny. Now you have the key. Now the question is, where is the key for? It's so funny. I mean, how old is he again? I mean the prototype. So how much money Elliot Ludwig and higher-ups have? Investors, whatever. So every building in this playcare is so big. It's analogically this big. How could they get that money? Well, Poppy doll is very expensive and probably only rich people, conglomerate, what is it in English, and princess family or whatever who can get Poppy doll. That's why Elliot Ludwig got this much money. And Huggy Wuggy is like, I don't know. So Playtime Co is very famous in this world, right? But how much money do they have? One of the things I dislike again about the gameplay for chapter 3 is like they're loading at the wrong moment. It's like there's so many loading at the wrong moment when we when we're talking about loading and saving, it's usually like when there's dangers gonna coming, but then it's not. It feels like the plot structure. It's like the mood is switching from excited, from scared, excited, and things, and then it turns out it's okay. There's no danger in here, and then flat. Does the prototype know who the player is? The identity? Few dumb safeguards. Well, as someone who doesn't understand machine, yeah, I think it's not dumb, it's annoying safeguards though. But yeah. So, if the fake Ollie is the prototype, why did he tell the player to divert gas again? To make explosion, right? But it turns out the explosion is for safe haven. Am I correct? I saw a comment about the purple grab bag has air jets. I saw comments about that. Has air jets to break long files. For chapter 4, the players fell down a long way to bottom to the laboratory. So, is the player hurt? Probably yes, but not that much because of the grabback has long falls. Wait. Because the grabback has air jets. By the way, I kinda like the way the player went down in this chapter. No, the 4th chapter to chapter 5. For the 2nd chapter, the player slide down to this slide, and then for the 3rd, because of the train crashes, to go down, and then with elevator. What you call it again? Not elevator, it's like gantungan, jembatan gantung. No? Alat transportasi yang digantung dari atas, apa namanya? And for the chapter 4 is from the elevator, and chapter 5 is because of the falls down. My grammar. That's actually a great moment to remember things from the past lore. Good job, developer and the fan who could remember that thing. Yay. At this point, the gamers felt like they got trolled by saving and loading button. I mean, autosave and auto loading thing. I love this crab pack. It's so cute. Sometimes I'm thinking hard about how the kids from Safe Haven knows about the electricity and things. I forgot that they were the chosen kids. They're like genius and smarts and blah 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 kids, and they have school in here. So I don't know what kind of education they have. So okay, probably they knew electricity stuff and safety stuff from there, and strategy and things. The puzzle is ridiculously very complex, but if we're thinking about what's the purpose of this puzzle, it's easier. It makes things easier. I've noticed that when I saw gameplays, but the thing is, I don't think I can be as good as the gamers when trying to play this game. Yeah, the puzzles are annoying and repetitive and ooh. Okay, is the player smart or not? Because when the prototype said, "Oh no," it sounds like very fake. I mean, is the player notice something wrong or not? Oh no, something is wrong. I sent you another key. By the way, who broke it? The prototype itself or the catnap? Catnap? But seriously, why did the prototype makes everything harder now that you think about it? Why? So the mission is the prototype tells the player to go inside of each building. Each building has their own enemy. So in Home Sweet Home, is the prototype trying to make the player remember about the things he's done? So the prototype knew that the player, the identities of the player. For the school, it's, what's her name again? Miss Delight. So the player told, it's as if the prototype told the player to kill Miss Delight. Well, in short, it's probably to make the player remembers his sins and to kill the monsters. Wait a minute, this sounds familiar. Sometimes I'm thinking that Poppy and the prototype are the same, or at least they're working together. Because, okay, I'll talk about death messages later in separate videos, but sometimes they reminded me of each other. Poppy wants the player to kill the monsters too, and kill the prototype. But the first thing first, she has to make the player got motivated to kill or to end things in the factory, because I forgot what I forgot what am I talking. First things first, the player must have some motivation, because in chapter 2 the player and Poppy got a beef because she wouldn't let the player escape. So to make clear that Poppy and the player has the same enemy and trying to make things right, so Poppy's gonna make the player got motivation. Maybe. I don't know. So did you guys know this? The wallpaper in Home Sweet Home is Poppy. She's like on top of a blooming flower with some kind of flower on top of her head. She looks creepy and gorgeous at the same time. Creepy. She looks like she got possessed, or she's gonna possess something. Everyone. It looks like a plant grows from the top of her head. Is this foreshadowing? There's something look like a candle. I have no idea what it looks like. She's burning or something. Is she a witch? Are we gonna burn the witch? No, don't burn her. She's my favorite character. Okay, I must not laugh. By the way, this company starts these experiments from an obsession, I think. So, wait a minute. Is the experiment started after Poppy died or before? He already made some kind of experiments? Probably after, right? So, this tragedy starts because of obsession. A father's obsession, maybe. And this walls reminds me of someone's writing about the obsessiveness. Someone's writing repetitive lines on top of someone's note. the obsession is a dangerous thing, and this is in this game. The obsession is centered towards Poppy. So, Home Sweet Home got Poppy's statue in the front of the building too. So probably Poppy is more popular in the game than Huggy. More important, definitely, of course, definitely. I wonder if she's gonna become I wonder if she's gonna build like narcissistic personality because of all of this, or she's gonna get scared. She's probably got scared. This looks like an obsession from Stalker. Yeah, but what if she's gonna become narcissistic? That would be amusing. But she's scared. At least what she shows us for now is she's scared. She felt guilty that everything's happened because she was exist as a human being, got loved by a father, a genius father with many money. And then she felt like she killed a lot of people even though she wasn't the one who's killing people. Yeah, probably. Oh wait, there's Kissy and Huggy probably as Gordon. What is Gordon in English? And Mommy Longlegs as a photo frame. The thing is, the Poppy's one is so beautiful, so gorgeous and creepy. So after hallucination, I wonder what kind of wallpaper we're watching. It looks like a flower too, but what kind of flower? Looks like burning flower or candle, and there are some kind of critters, cat or Huggy, small, around there. Happy and fun. Why was it done? Yeah, why Elliot Ludwig? I love the pity section. It's a symbolization of the player's brain because of the guilt the players felt. I love the symbolization in this Home Sweet Home. It's like desperation. The gamers, the player, and the kids are feeling this kind of desperation. That's what I'm thinking, because of how maze-like this place is. They're trying to get out, but they can't. For the body of the young boy. Wait, young boy. Yes, a young boy means that a teenager or a kid boy, a kid boy, young boy. Young boy is like a teenager, right? Does it mean like he's Ollie or something? So that boy must be important, right? That's why the body of that boy got used to this trap to blame everything to Elliot Ludwig. Not everything, to blame something to Elliot Ludwig to destroy his reputation. So how Elliot Ludwig died again? Why Ollie though? I mean, what did Ollie do? If you're a parent and there's a boy close to your daughter, what will you do? Why Ollie? Why that boy? What's their role in here? Man, my English. Let's talk about Ollie. If Ollie could be like a friend that give cat that gave Poppy calmness and solution and listened to her pains and got trusted by Poppy. He's maybe 10 or 15 years old boy, right? The real Ollie. So someone in the radio said that Elliot Ludwig cannot do something violent. I mean, with his own hands or with other people's hand. Because he did bad things. But I don't know if he hurts children with his own hands or with the scientist's hands. I don't know. Is it just me or they change the kid's picture beside the telephone? I thought it was Kissy Missy, the girl whose Kissy Missy's look at when she's in the bedroom, but now it's more like Poppy vibe, you know, a girl with a bang hair and twin tails and cute. Who's this kid is? It's so cute. I think she got like twin tails. I don't know. She's holding her hair with her two hands on different sides. More like Poppy vibe and pink t-shirt. So is this supposed to be Poppy's when she was a little girl? When she was whatever. Okay, whoever she is, she's so cute. Oh baby, so cute. But seriously, did they change the picture? If someone in Playtime trying to prove Elliot Ludwig's innocence, then who put that body in Elliot Ludwig's house, residence, whatever? Who's trying to blame Elliot Ludwig? Maybe Harley Sawyer because he hates or got a beef with him. By the way, who phoned it again? Well, Elliot Ludwig is smart. There's no way he would just put the body there if he was the one who killed that boy. Nowhere is more haunted than the mind. Yep, the mind is dangerous. Seriously, why the player though? I mean, is he the only human scientist left among them? Why him? Why the player? I mean, Catnap and the prototype got they spared sometimes just to test the player. I mean, why? So in orientation notebook, we knew some things like the seminar about safety is always cancelled for some reason, probably because of the prototype or the monsters. The monster he gave orders to. The second, the 28th birthday, June 28th, that's like something like whose name? Bunny's Banzo said to the player, and the fact that PW wanted to quit the job but failed, but then he got like a schedule for 8/8/1995. It's because, but He could be run away from the problem though. Sometimes when you're at school, you're like, I hate this work, I hate this homework, I hate this. You know. So then you act like you're sick, but the truth is your mind is the one who's sick. So you call sick so that you don't have to go to school. Maybe the player or PW acted that he was sick. He called, yeah. The short thing is, PW is the potential chance to be the player among all of them. So, Bobby Bear Hug said that this time don't leave me, okay? Oh, remember that? What if the player or Aka PW left them, just like Bobby left the player and Kissy at chapter 4? That would be ironic, huh? That would be fun. You'll get what you deserve. Except Kissy. Kissy is such a good bestie. Okay, I just noticed this. There's an office. The way that the player seeing this office, it means that it's his office when he was working in here. But what kind of worker is he? I mean, the player. Guilt haunts you. So do you think this is a scientist room? I mean work room, or something about shipment, like rich workroom? Well, if this person has his own room, it means that he is important enough to have this room. Well, there are boxes. Is it for package, or is it like because PW wants to quit? That's why he cleaned up everything. Not everything. But is this scientist or a shipment part room? I mean, if you're talking about feeling guilty, there's more likely like a scientist felt guilty because the scientist did those things. But shipment, rich in shipment, what kind of guilty he has? Because of what? Get Up. If we're talking about Get Up, it's probably Poppy or the prototype. I've tried to explain this at my another video project for the death messages. But Get Up, we usually know this because of death messages, a high chance because it's Poppy, because of white death screens, and the color theory, if it's white, it's Poppy's theme as a savior or something. If the prototype can mimic maybe the way they're talking to. Do you guys remember how the prototype said Get Up to Huggy Wuggy at Project Playtime? And this is why sometimes I thought they're like the same person saying Get Up thing. But the thing is, the male voice in this radio saying Get Up doesn't sound like the prototype. It's a human. This voice reminds me of PW orientation notebook or whatever male people in here, except Rich though. Rich has a very unique voice. I can differentiate him. But who's this voice? Maybe it's the player itself saying, hey, I must get up, you know? Maybe he's trying to wake him up himself. Seriously, who's this? The prototype? Project Playtime. The prototype Project Playtime is more like deeper than this male voice. Then it must be him, right? Himself, right? So, is it the prototype? Well, this male voice is kinda deep there. But when the prototype's saying something, it's usually capital or not. I don't know. Who are you? Okay, the fact that there are bad and some kind of scientific tools, it means that the player is a scientist, right? Because think about it, why this place? It means that this person, the player, got connection with this kind of environment. So probably working in play care as a nurse, but there are scientific tools. It means that a doctor or scientist or a nurse. Wait, there's a VHS about greeting a new employee, saying something like this: "Greetings, employees, and welcome to your first day here in Playtime." And in orientation notebook, PW is a new scientist. So yeah, I think so. Why this tape? Why this tape, huh? Why this welcoming tape? It means that, oh, maybe because it's more like it started because he's working in here. He felt like disappointed at himself. Why did he work in this place out of other places? My whole life ruined because of this place. And that's why this VHS tape shows up in his dream. Who's talking again? Who's this person who's talking about all of this greeting new employees? Somehow the last few lines in here is really hard for me to understand. Who's talking, by the way? Is this person like important person to the player? That's why the player's using his voice in the player's mind. I love those sound when the player's walking. It's like an ASMR. And by the way, why is the wallpaper in real life is poppy and the hallucination wallpaper is like not poppy, it's like candle thing, but flower too? Why? Like burning candle and flower? There's one question I'm still thinking about. Why is the mommy long legs, baby long legs, daddy long legs, cutouts sound static? Only them. The others are like they can talk and then static. But for all of the spiders, like static all the time. Why? What's so important about them? I have a question again. So, the genius kids, if they pass the test, they're gonna be experiments, right? They're gonna be experiments. And then what if they failed? Where are they gonna go? So is Playcare is only for the human kids? Or with the experimented kids too? Or the experimented kids, they put them in prison only? So about Kevin and Joseph VHS, who's the scientist talking there? Was it the scientist or Dr. White, a friend of or a frenemy of the doctor, or Holly Sawyer? So which scientist is this? If this man is the player, then it will be like ironic, like trying to remember his own guilt. And by the way, I love the way they're talking, they're teasing about Kevin. Subject 1322 about Joey and Joseph. What is Joseph gonna be? It could be in chapter 5, maybe. But seriously, lying to a kid. If the person is a scientist, this scientist and PW, well, you should pay for your sins somehow. So there's a drawing in here like Poppy, all of Poppy and dresses and the ribbons. It's with a black crayon maybe, but her hair colored with red crayon. Who drew this? This could be a symbolization about the way the kid really hate red Poppy, the gas. Maybe that's the symbolization. I don't know if it's Poppy and other kids. And there's the wallpaper is poppy flower. They draw blood with red crayon too, or paint. Wait a minute, they changed the picture for the picture kisses Mrs. holding. So probably Kissy Missy is the girl with the twin tail. I mean, why they change the picture? Maybe the person who's in picture asked to get replaced. I don't know, but so it's Kissy, huh? It turns out it's her own picture maybe, or wait, or maybe it's Poppy. So is it Kissy or Poppy? If it's Poppy's picture, she's probably missing her friend. If it's Kissy's picture, she's probably trying her best to remember her human form. But how come she didn't realize that the player was watching her? Is it just me, or this chapter the player hasn't made some kind of expression from the way the grabback still there all the time? From the VHS about Kevin and Joseph, the grabback didn't react to it, I think. I wonder why they blockade the bedroom from outside. If the bad guys, the bad toys, the prototype's team trying to make them dead by starving them or make them die slowly in their bed. So they did that to those hopeless other toys who didn't worship the prototype, maybe. By the way, I remember there's a poster about always look up. So where's that poster again? Roasted beef. Is there anything in Smile Critters is called beef? So, well, Piggy might eat the elephant, the chicken too, and the unicorn. How many of her friends got killed too? She ate them. So does it mean she's in Prototype's gang? She didn't scream. It means that she's still alive, maybe? So in VHS about Samuel Lee, which Dr. White is it? Is the voice the same as the scientist or the Bruno White one? I think I've read about trivia about the voice actor for the scientist or the Bruno White one. He wanted the developers to make them different people, voice actor, because he was afraid the fans can't differentiate among them. So it means that there's Bruno White and there's scientist. So which Dr. White is this? Are they even two? Are they like family? Are they like twin brothers, or the son and the father, the grandparent and the grandson, or what? Uncle and I don't know, cousin? So is this person, this Dr. White, has the same voice as the scientist? I mean, well, this is probably before, I don't know. Okay, the thing is this Bruno White or this scientist, the scientist? This gamer, the game archivist, is getting creeped out by Poppy Bear Hug because she just turned around every time the gamer is like trying to every time he turns around. But this thing is only statue, right? A stuffed statue, right? Not a living organism, right? Okay, the wallpaper, I think the wallpaper from the player's dream or hallucination is like this counselor, no, I mean the room for nurses nursing kids. It means that place is the most memorable by the player. You know what? Forget what I'm saying. I'm hallucinating. I'm delusionating. I'm delusional. I'm a delusional, so don't overthink what I'm thinking, because I'm overthinker too. Yeah. So there are fires everywhere in here, right? Because of the car thing. So but they don't like get burned up this whole this house. How's the fire isn't menyebar for now? I love the new pole electric thing, but why did you make it like so complicated, huh, Playtime Co? It's kinda cute though. For the soundtrack, it's still nice, okay, but I feel like they're not so iconic as the other chapters. Couldn't even remember things except for the the main menu. I only remember the main menu. So Kissy, Poppy and the player reunited. It's confusing why Kissy suddenly attacked the gamers when she didn't attack the gamers when she's in her bedroom. Probably because it's already been explained, maybe. Probably because and the fans confused why she helped the player at the game station thing and she attacked us in here. Well, it's because the players where everything's bad happened, and an adult human reminded her of the scientist, so she attacked the player. Well, Poppy explained that the plays make her tense, but sometimes it's still not enough to explain things. Poppy and Kiss is so adorable. They're so cute, like parrots. A pirate and parrot. So cute. Wait, is it just me or that's like the smallest flashlight I've ever seen? By the way, so after the train crash, she got hurt. There's a scar on her face, and then she went somewhere to hide from catnap, probably, and left the player alone because she couldn't help the player at train, and then she somehow got reunited by Ollie with a phone call somewhere. So Ollie called her again somewhere, so they reunited again. I think deep down in her heart, Poppy hates the player though, because the player is, if the player is a scientist, and if the player is that scientist, and yeah, I think she's kind of faking how the player have been through so much. Kind of faking at least. Maybe she's like, oh, he's been hurt. He's my teammate. I mean, he's my ally. Okay, she's sympathy or empathy towards the player, but at the same time, he must pay for his sins. Because he did these things. Poppy and Kiss is so cute! I wonder how the developers see Poppy. So it feels like they ignoring her for the merch. Kinda. At least for now. And then for the story, they're kinda hide her VHS. So, well, if the gamers saw her or hear her VHS, they could have like some sympathy for her. The thing is, the developers hide them. It feels like as if they want the gamers stay on hating on Poppy. Well, it would be a bit mainstream if she's gonna be a villain anyway. Kinda mainstream, but okay, did what you want to do, whatever. But the thing is, it's a bit mainstream if she's gonna end up as, it turns out she's the prototype, or it turns out she's the mastermind. Well, there are so many cute but creepy characters like her outside there. There are too many, but how to make her more interesting and more unique? I wonder if the developers hate or love Poppy. Well, the gamers are like bunch of Poppy slander because they got trauma of Circus Baby and Annabelle and Chucky. Creepy doll things. Plus, well, the thing is, she did all of those things because of PTSD. Like betrayal thing, it's PTSD. There are gamers trying to understand her too, like they're trying to see the cause of why she's acting like this. That's nice, but still they're careful because she's definitely saying a suspicious thing and she's hiding something for some reason, probably because it's the cause of her PTSD too, so that she won't get hate, maybe. I don't know. There are so many reasons or factors that make her to do those things. But what if she... So I read much novels and things. Sometimes the titular character is not the villain. Sometimes they're the most tragic characters. Will she be like that? Will she be the most tragic character ever? That would be more unique than the other games named from... with titular name. I wonder why they hate her VHS. I wonder if the developers want to develop sympathy for the gamers to Poppy or not. I don't know. Do they love this character or do they hate this character? I don't know. If they hate her, why did she in the center of the world? Well, she's definitely interesting because she's so mysterious. She's suspicious. Definitely. Yeah, that's why I love her. I love mysterious thing. But I wonder if she's gonna be the titular character with the most tragic victim out of all type. I wonder if the developers could make the gamers feel sympathy for her and make emotional, feel bad about whatever they did to Poppy or saying about Poppy. Because the developers may be trying to make her like more likable, but at the same time, after that, they made her unlikable, you know. For like this thing, Poppy and Kissy being adorable, it's likable thing, so cute, iconic. But then, after, did you guys see? Well, probably not. Chapter 1, the player and Poppy is a lie. A friends. They're friends. They're on the same team. And then chapter 2, betrayal by Poppy because she broke her promise. The chapter 3, because they become friends again. And chapter 4, kinda betrayal because she got PTSD. And chapter 5, they'll probably become friends again. And then chapter 6, maybe she's gonna betray the player again. I don't know. So if she's gonna be if she's gonna be a nice character, or maybe bestie, or maybe a team in with the player, so how to make her more likable? How the developers make the scene so emotional and make the gamers felt bad and want to say sorry for her? I don't know. But well, if she's gonna be evil anyway, even though probably it's because of her PTSD, maybe. Well, they hate her already, so yeah, it's kinda sad for me because she's like my favorite character. But okay, that's your choice, the developers. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. By the way Poppy says, "You need to trust me and I am not your enemy." Is this the way for the developers saying she's nice? Well, the gamers said that people who said, "Trust me and I'm not your enemy," people thought that those kind of people are evil. But the thing is, I said something like, "Please trust me and I'm not your enemy." I said it from my heart and I won't betray you because I'm such a honest person. So what type is Poppy? Is she telling the truth? Or is she trying to manipulate? Well, no matter what she's trying to say, the gamers will still hate her. I'm gonna sad. I'm sad. I'm sad. Yep, I'm gonna cry. Why are you so mysterious? Why are you so suspicious? Well, if you're not suspicious, I might not be interested in you as for I am now. Okay. About fake Oli saying dumb safety cards. Yep, it's annoying. Annoying, really annoying. It feels like they're doing repeated things in this chapter. Maybe that's the point, but it's too repetitive. The puzzles, the system, the safeguards and things, the pattern, maze. Kiss is so cute. So, Poppy said the prototype knows we're coming by now if the player is a scientist. A scientist at least. So, he must knew that the prototype looking like that, and then he should have known that the prototype has been stalking him at Mommy Longlegs, at least at Mommy Longlegs' scene, death scene. You know? Why are you not talking about that to Bobby, huh? So about the prototype and Poppy's plan. So the prototype told Poppy to his plan about they're gonna be free from the experiments again. So Poppy agreed. But the thing is, the prototype's plan is to kill everyone. So Poppy felt guilty and angry to the prototype because he didn't tell all of the plan and hiding something from her. And she might be ashamed of her friends or guilty of her friends because the prototype used them to get violence towards employees, humans, and innocent people, visitors and people. But Poppy couldn't help her, couldn't do violent things because she's too small to fight. So she felt even more guilty because of her recklessness, because she was naive. She didn't know that the prototypes is a manipulator. So she felt bad because of her. Those kids act violently and killed people, those innocent children. So maybe at some point at the process of the hour of joy, she was she was talking back to the prototype. She disagreed with his plan to kill people, and then they got angry at each other. The prototype thought that Poppy doesn't understand his plan. Just like what the chapter 4 say, he put her on case to reflect, mostly to reflect that he's right about his plan. Poppy didn't do anything wrong, partly because she thought they're just gonna free without making those children do bad things for them, for those bad guys. So the prototype locked up Poppy in case. So she said, God awful long, maybe 10 years at least in the middle of the hour of joy. About the doctor saying something like, do you know Poppy's role in the hour of joy? Maybe her role is to lead children to be free, but she didn't know what free means by the prototype's plan, right? So we must not trust whatever the doctor said and what the prototype said about Poppy, because they're both like 100% manipulators. Don't just accept whatever they're saying. Poppy might use the player too, but she might manipulate her in one way, but we still don't know for sure. But the doctor and the prototype is 100% manipulator, so instead of trusting the prototype and the doctor said about Poppy, well, I'll choose Poppy though, instead of two of those killers, mass murderers like them. What am I saying, by the way? So the thing is, bunch of gamers didn't realize that they got manipulated by the doctor and the prototype lines. So about the POV of betrayal. In Elliot Ludwig's POV, the doctor Harley Sawyer is a dangerous person, even though he's dangerous. I mean, he's genius, but he's dangerous because he doesn't have humanity in him. He is a psychopath, sadistic, and things. But in Harley Sawyer's head, or POV, he thought that Elliot Ludwig betrayed him because he thought that they're both genius, so they would know each other's goal, you know. So about who betrayed who, we must, as watcher and gamers, we must see from both sides. For the doctor's POV, Poppy is something, a woman, a doll. Well, she should be a woman right now. A woman who acts innocent because she's in a cute doll's body. She's definitely hiding something. But why? Maybe in Poppy's POV, she's hiding something because she's ashamed of her past, that she got lied easily, that she got manipulated, and maybe she's the type of character who blamed herself more. That's why she's hiding something from her friends, because she wants to look perfect, maybe a leader, and those children saw her as leader, so maybe she thought that a leader should be perfect. That's why she's hiding them. And maybe because she saw them as children, and she didn't want them to feel her pain too, because they have been through a lot already. Maybe, I don't know. What was I talking again? It's about the prototype locked up Poppy, right? Okay, that's it. That's Poppy's role in The Hour of Joy. She was their leader, the kids' leader, but then because of her naiveness, she got lied. Probably she's old, right? When The Hour of Joy, she's already old when The Hour of Joy, but the thing is, her mental age, I think, shut up. Her mental age, maybe, I think when she died, she's like 10 or 15 years old, maybe, because she's already smart, but not so smart, and still naive. It means that she's still a child or a teenager at least. But then, at least 40 years later, maybe it's just like in her 50 right now, her age, but her mental age is like, I don't know, teenager or young adult, not mature enough, I think, because she's still naive. I think in this chapter focus on how Poppy or everyone in the toy trying to make the players remember his sins, and then Poppy's voice line is like motivated the player that he could pay for his sins by saving people, act like a hero. So in chapter 4, the player is agreeing whatever order the Poppy is saying to him. By the way, Poppy is like, she knew everything, but she doesn't know everything at the same time. Like, she thought catnap is the last obstacle for the last bodyguard for the prototype. I mean, why? He acts like a king, huh? So she knew the end all of the information is like from the fake Ollie. So what will happen though? So the real Ollie, I mean the fake Ollie, is informant for Poppy, but then it turns out he's the prototype who is the enemy. So what's gonna be Poppy's plan next? So it's like Ollie gave order to Poppy, Poppy gave order to the player. But now what? Poppy ran away, the prototype is Ollie, and the players. Okay, will the next chapter, the 5th chapter, gonna be like the player can make choices now? Not just push around by Poppy, not just give the orders by Poppy, gifted orders by Poppy, but finally the player could make a choice of his own. Just like the doctor when testing the player and the gamers, like, will you kill the dragon nightmare creatures for your freedom, or you're just gonna run away with like grab back from fly in the wall system? I mean, so Kissy, Poppy are hiding while the player is just trying his best to fight everything. I get it that Poppy can't do anything like fighting and things, but Kissy could have helped with something, right? Well, maybe Kissy is acting as Poppy's bodyguard, just like Catnap for Catnap, Mummy, and Huggy for the prototype. Wait a minute. So the prototype sent the player to school, but the Miss Delight chased him out, doesn't want to fight him, probably because she heard rumors about how perfect the player is and can kill her anytime. But then she got killed. What's the reason though? Maybe the prototype really wants to make the monsters, the experiments died. Why? To mix them to him? Why the prototype need them? Why? Need their body to be mixed with his body as a body part? Does he need them to stay alive? Sometimes it's funny when the prototype is like making some static noise. It's like when the fake Ollie saying like, oh no, this person is dangerous, this person blah, 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 static, and so on. So I'm imagining that he's making those recklessness by his own. It's funny. It's like when you're calling to your boss, you got sick or you got hit by a car, and then you make some beep 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 voice to lie on him. But in here it feels like the prototype doesn't want to too lazy to explain things about the next enemy for the player. Why is it so hard for me to say things, huh? I love Miss Delight's voice actor. Her voice is just so cool. By the way, Miss Delight's VHS is kinda hard to search to, but it's still on the same area. Kinda. I wonder why the player's step sounds weird. It's like a horse shoes, not human. But the thing is, the doctor's saying that the player is a human. What kind of shoe the player's wearing though? But it's like ASMR, it's satisfying. I have a question. Is there what kind of electricity Playtime Co using? Because they haven't paid the bill for like 10 years and the electricity is still there, so it means that there should be like some sort of energy, a store energy like from solar or something, from the sun, and then what you call it in English, solar. Solar. Yep. Miss Delight said that the player is a human too. Oh, maybe there must be a reason why Miss Delight doesn't want to fight the player. She said it's dangerous because of her. I mean, she's such a crazy person, so she would gladly to take the player's life and then ate him. It's him. Was she afraid of catnap? Why? Okay, don't mind me, my brain hurts. Does it mean catnap doesn't want the player got killed by Miss Delight? Or maybe she's warning that she doesn't want to kill him, or she wants to warn him that catnap is going to kill him? My brain hurts. Just forget what I'm saying. I've just noticed that I know that Miss Delight has had sisters. So the Miss Delight the gamers fighting has blue color coded for subtitle, and the Miss Delight and Cutout has pink, like Poppy's pink color coded subtitle. Is this a mistake, or will we see the pink version of Miss Delight? For the color coded subtitle? I wonder why they're using the pink version of Poppy's subtitle. Is it pink or red? It's my brain. So I'm kinda sad that they changed Miss Delight fight turned into like statue. I appreciate that they're trying their best to not to have that kind of play in fighting scene section. I think there's another one they're trying their best not to make the mainstream what you call it, puzzle system, like gaming stuff. But the thing is, it was so difficult so they changed it. Difficult to understand. And is it just me, or she's getting slower more than the past? Well, can I play this game now? Because I'm not interested playing this game, even though I don't want to try to play this game because they're not easy for a newbie gamer like me. I'm not a gamer. I'm just a crossword and dress up gamer. I can't play horror. I love it when I can see the gamer's fist getting shot, got jumped out. I think Miss Delight is still my favorite fighting battle because she's so intimidating and giving jump scare even though it's not a jump scare. So have they changed the way that it was so unlogical for Miss Delight can transport after the gate closed? It feels like she can teleport there. It was so unlogical, and well, I love the jump scare for the gamers, but it's not justice. Well, maybe the developers did it as a troll to the gamers so that the gamers felt like they're safe. It turns out they didn't. So have they changed it so that the gate won't be closed after the players passed them, so Miss Delight doesn't have to teleport inside there to get the players again? I hope they change it. I think they change it into more slow so that Miss Delight could pass through the gate a little bit later after the player, but still can get inside the room, maybe. After the gate closed, so there's a door beside the gate, so she kicked the door, so it's more logical. I love it. The door is there, it's more logical. Yep, the game is still the game is not as frustrating as before because there are so many gamers crashed out because how hard it was for them. So maybe I can play this game now. Okay, I think they really should see the prototype as God, because the way Miss Delight write the prototype him, Miss Delight capitalized H word, H alphabet, means that she must respect him. So the prototype has really a complex syndrome, huh? I wonder, I'm confused with this. He seemingly oddly glad to see I was all that remained. Maybe they need to make the toys kill each other so that there'll be less foods to feed them. They don't have to feed all of people, less people, and they would be likely to be heretics if all of the toys fighting together against the prototype. Will there be a chance for them to kill him? So the safe haven toys is more like defending themselves, not fighting back, but more like defending. But after the players here, they're starting to fight back. The player, not the kids, maybe. I think Hobby died because she jumped herself from the tall building, or maybe she got pushed, or maybe what? I think the scream sounds like from someone's falling from the tall building into the ground. I wonder why they changed Stuart's voice actor, because I miss his accent, because I can differentiate him between the others with his accent or voice. But I wonder why they changed him. Maybe to replace him to other character so that there won't be double or things, maybe? I don't know. But good work for this new voice actor. No idea who he is. And the old Stu's voice is like fatherly towards Rich, so that when Rich saying what the old voice actors about, so when Rich saying the old man saying to Rich, so Rich said it to a young boy. From chapter 4, it's like father to son thing, and it's kinda wholesome. But seriously, who is Rich? Rich is always coming back from fetches in every chapters, and the scientist has coming back too from every chapter. Who are they? There should be important. Who are they? Rich. Rich is like an employee and then got down from the promote, and then got down promote. What is the opposite of promoted? But then after that he got promoted again, and then he became a manager. He's such a hardworking man. I remember that gamers always late for the elevator in the cave area, for the puzzle in cave area. They're late, and then they're like, what, I missed the elevator? It's actually very disturbing thinking that Catnap worships the prototype. So Catnap was a kid named Thomas, or whatever his name is. As a kid, you don't really know the concept of God, and you just know that God is the one who's saving you. So it feels like he got manipulated. Yeah, he got manipulated, and he didn't get education about what God is, and it's disturbing and sad. The way he just worship the prototype. I'm gonna cry. By the way, I love the prototype soundtrack. It's very creepy. It's definitely sound like when a white boy's coming. Mysterious, creepy, and I got goosebumps. And kinda disturbing too. And somewhat majestic. And Catnap is disappearing when the player is at the cave. It means that Catnap hasn't got order from the prototype to kill the player. I mean, does Catnap know the prototype's plan or not? Well, maybe the ending, he's really only sacrificing himself. Not got killed, but sacrificing himself. So he got burned, and then he felt like he couldn't do anything again as the prototype's bodyguard, so he's okay with being killed and being used as the prototype's body part or something. The features about Catnap is kinda hard to find too. Kinda. It's like Poppy's and Ollie's features. Kinda. But not as far as Ollie's features though. So Poppy doesn't scream. It means that she's maybe alive, or she was alive but she was still in laboratorium because of the casualties, the failed experiment. And this time she's saying, please take me with you this time. It means that the player really left them. Just like Poppy left him and Kissy. So, probably the players running away from the things gonna happen in 8/8/1995. So, if the player is PW got word. Well, he's supposed to have work because new orphans gonna come in. Maybe, I don't really remember, but something about orphan. Maybe he got in sick, so he could run away from the job. So after that, maybe later, he's trying to come to work someday after a few days, but then there's news about the disappearance of people in Poppy Playtime. Why? Everyone's going there, gonna die maybe. So the players just like stuck at home after that for 10 years until the letter saved the players' insane nightmares and finally making players braving himself to go back to the factory because he felt bad for leaving them and doing those things. I wonder why she's not screaming though. Wait a minute, is the one screaming is the piggies eating them? Like Baba Fan screaming, Hoppy screaming, Unicorn didn't scream though. Oh, but she wants blood. Who's screaming again? Chicken screaming. And the piggy ate them. And the piggy herself didn't scream. What happened to her? I don't know. So for Catnap's VHS, this Pierre is taking, what's his name again? The doctor's place. After the doctors got changed into a computer and things. So this Pierre saying about trying to search for his replacement. The thing is, in PW's orientation notebook, we saw writing like he saw an advertisement about Playtime Co. searching for a biologist. So, and then PW confused why a toy company needs a biologist. And in one of the hallucination in chapter 4 at second lab area, the players hallucinating about resume, Dr. White resume. It means that the player is PW and the W is Dr. White, but not the other Dr. White. Maybe their family? If PW is the Dr. White, Harley Sawyer should have recognized him. So why is Dr. Sawyer couldn't recognize the player? Maybe he got the job after Dr. Sawyer got changed into the computer. That's why Dr. Harley Sawyer couldn't recognize him. But the thing is, Harley Sawyer can see everything, right? Wait a minute. Maybe at that time, Harley Sawyer couldn't have the access all of the CCTV access like now, so her Sawyer couldn't recognize this PW. Or maybe PW is having a surgery or something. Face surgery, maybe. So is the game like getting easier or what? Maybe because the game Air Service has been played this game before and maybe he's a good gamer? This thing looks easy. Can I play this game now? Like ridiculously easy. And the way the smile creators fighting, they're still buggy and cute and goofy. But I hope their bugginess is reduced though. So who cut Dog Days like again? Was it the prototype or was it what's his name? Catnap? So from the pictures is the counting down picture like Kissy Love throwing and things. We knew that Dog Day was a double agent. But the question is, who was he most loyal to? I think it's Bobby, because his last breath, his last words are for how Bobby and the player could save all of this, could fix everything. So he got found out by the prototype or Catnap, and then the betrayal must get punished for that. By the way, for the mascot horror game, this scene is just shocking. I don't think a mascot horror game would make a scene like this, at least for what I've been watching. It's nice, it's new, it's fresh for the game. But the thing is, it's confusing. He's being eaten alive by those smiling critters from inside, and then she became possessed, and then she became something else. That's weird, not logical. Well, none of these are like kinda logical. But what is it in science? It's like when you got eaten inside and then they're like inside of you right now, and then they possessed you, and then what in the supernatural is this? What's the science side from this? It's just weird the way he got possessed because of that. Weird. Oh, by the way, in his last words, last paragraphs, last lines, Dr. said that he trusts Bobby. It means that we definitely can trust Bobby more than the prototype and the doctor. But Bobby, I have no idea. But I'm thinking about this. If Bobby would if Bobby were gonna turn into a villain at the end of the chapter, what kind of villain is she? So the player is not such a innocent person. He's not a saint. So maybe she's gonna punish him anyway, because the way she respected a human's life if he's not innocent. Well, if that person is innocent, she would respect them. But if those people or this person did something bad, will she still punish them? That's my question about what will she do if she's a villain. Or will she forgive him because he tried to repent himself? Wait, so all this time the player is always killing if the monsters are trying to kill them. I mean the player. So next, if the player is gonna fight Poppy, How to make it more interesting? I think it'll be good if the players would not kill Poppy but sacrifice himself. How to make it more interesting though? It's like this time he won't kill anyone, he won't kill Poppy, but he will calm her down or something to make her understand that this isn't her, maybe, I don't know. And by the way, because of all of the things she's been through. What was that? I thought you were a dog kid. All this time Poppy hated the prototype because of that personality. But the thing is, from now on she's starting to act like the prototype. She's selfish, she hides something from her friends, she's bossy, she's not a good leader anymore. She's ordering people to do things just like the prototype is just sacrificing his bodyguards to do all those bad things, not with his own hands, but those kids. Well, they're not kids anymore, so yeah, maybe young adult. The point is, it's like ironic. You became something you don't want to. Is she gonna be a tyrant as well as just like the prototype? And this is why sometimes I thought like Poppy is the prototype. She said some suspicious things like, well, I'm still a doll, and she could like climbed the door to reach the knob on the door and then open the door somehow, and I'm suspicious and I have no idea if they're the same thing. It's like, it's kinda mainstream, but it's kinda funny too. But what if the developers want to say that things I've said, like you became something you don't want to, something you hated, unfortunately. Oh, you guys are noticed about the religion symbolization in here. So the prototype is like someone who got complex symptom, and the player got caught Poppy's angel. Poppy is like something that the kids look up for, like she was their leader. So the player is the angel, the bodyguard of her. Maybe the other toys, the other fraction thinks that Poppy is something she's not. She doesn't have God complex though, right? She doesn't have that, right? Well, let's just say that they think of her like a savior, like something got protected by an angel, the symbolization thing, you know. So what is he, a celestial being? Wait, what is celestial meaning? The celestial meaning? What is celestial again? Okay, one of the weird thing happening in this chase, it's like the trial and error thing to figure out things to beat Dog Days fighting scene section. Okay, the door opened and closes it on its own. Who did that? Maybe the doctor? Did the doctor, like, at first time I watched it, I was like, this isn't fair, the developers. And then after the Omni hand thing, I'm thinking that maybe it was the doctor who let the players going to like more dangerous or more safe road. So is it safer on Is it safer or is it more dangerous? The path that the doctors or whoever have the Omni hand wants? The Omni hand can open all of doors, including these, right? And from the first chapters, like the door closes itself in front of the player and then opened by itself. Why? Maybe to scare the player, or maybe to test how the player's gonna react in those situations. That sounds like what the doctor is. And the developers kinda evil too with like a dead end, but it turns out the dead end is not dead end because the bottom would fall after the player stepped into that. So after the player got into the elevator, so the door closed and there screams a lot like "Wee!" Like male's voice and female voices. Does it mean it's like something's happening? If the one screaming was the smile critters, why were they screaming? They were the one who's killing the dog day, right? Unless there's something's going on there. So is the dog day still alive, or maybe the possessed one is still alive? Well, there's a high chance that the smile critters still alive unless something's killing them. What's happening? So are they screaming because the player could escape? Seriously, the prototype? Now ouchies are those body parts? So, the prototype, can you define? No more, I don't want to lose more friends in this place. Define friend here. I have no idea. Somehow the fake Ollie is a bit kind of he's such a funky friend. He's like unserious friend, that unserious friend we have. And this line, if you thought that was terrifying, just wait until you see the real thing. So the prototype is proud of himself, huh? He's proud of what he looks like, huh? By the way he's saying about catnap and the shrine, he sounded so happy, huh? But this line, every shadow and every flickering light is a hiding spot. I thought when I was first watching it, I thought it would be like a nice tips, a nice clue to how to survive, but it's not really useful, you know. So the prototype told the player how to defeat catnap. Not how to, but the way catnap hunts and stalks. It's kinda sad, huh? It's like you told catnap to kill the player, but then telling the player to how to kill catnap. That's like mengadu domba. So there are some drawings in Counselor. It's like catnap with writing best friend forever, maybe. It's like BFFFFFFS. And there's Huggy like a seaweed. And Poppy's like shh. I wonder why. What is wrong with Poppy, huh? Poppy with poppy flowers and writing shh. Why? A secret? And there's something weird about two eyes and Huggy's picture with writing watch, maybe watch out, maybe watch. It's like two eyes with some kind of per, something like Boxy Boo. I have no idea in English, but per there 2 eyes. Is that the prototype's eyes? He's somewhat like a crab or a spider, you know. I'm confused. There's something weird about the features about alert, workforce danger alert. Is using blankets or pillows to cover your body and remain silent would work out? To hide against the monsters? Do not look through any windows. Why? And do not make eye contact with any individuals. About eyes, huh? It feels like this enemy could do something with their eyes. By the way, have you noticed that there's like flies or insects outside the window for fake plants, and there are trash too? But why are they still alive? There's no trash in here. Why not at the body either? But why the plant, the fake plant, and the trash, not the blood or the living toys' bodies? About the eyes, it's either like Poppy or the doctor. But this is weird. The doctor's eyes is not like that important eyes. If we're talking about eyes, it's probably Poppy, because Poppy's eyes are weird, getting more weird even now. And in chapter 2, she looks like she's either being brainwashed or she's the one who's trying to brainwash. Is it the prototype? The prototype felt like he could manipulate people and brainwashing them by, I have no idea by what. I have no idea how, but the prototype seems like he's a good editor, because this VHS has like writing, open the doors now, the hour of joy has arrived. So he's brainwashing or telepathically by videos. What kind of superpower is that, the prototype? So are they gonna start like mixing science fiction with supernatural? I don't mind though, because if you want to make someone's immortal, you can't just use science fiction, you know? It's not enough. You need God, okay? So there's someone mixing the hour of joy, VHS tape 2, and the replacement for Kissy Missy replacement. I mean relocation. Someone has been editing that too. And don't forget Poppy's VHS about how to make her, how to heal her, how you call it again, how to make over her, how to take surgeries on her. But the point is, in that VHS, Poppy was screaming, let me go, let me go, let me go. Somehow. Does it mean that she could edit those VHS too? And this is one of the reasons why I'm thinking that Poppy and the prototype is somewhat the same person. I'm confused. If the prototype and Poppy are sibling or twin, do they have like the same ability? They're like indigo children, gifted children. They have like special gifts like telepathically. Maybe, I don't know. Ouch. Okay, seriously, what is wrong with this weird insect? It looks like something robotic insect. Why? Is it like secretly enemy for the player later? The fact that Catnap always told the player to turn around and go home. It means that Catnap doesn't know the prototype's plan, right? So he really betrayed Catnap. Why the prototype needs their part of body to survive? Maybe to upgrade himself, or to make him stronger, or some kind of, when he's not eating, he doesn't have to, he needs something to make his body full. I don't know. By the way, the scientist office is probably at Home Sweet Home, maybe, or not. I mean, he was working in Home Sweet Home when Joseph found him, right? So what is he in charge for again? The boxes I have told you earlier, I think it's more like some sort of a shelf that you can... What is ra in English? Wait, ra is shelf. Something like kitchen shelf that you can make it like push and pull the knob. You get it? But it's for files, to organize files, just like in hospital. So who is Mr. and Mrs. Hartman? I don't think. Maybe they're visitors, or maybe they're like the lower ranking employees. So if that person could come down to this area, to Playcare area, don't they feel weird that this place is like far below the earth, like no sunlight for these kids, and ominous vibes around the cave, like when you're gonna go through that dome? And by the way, so the kids, it means that there are kids that could get adopted, right? The human kids still. So it's probably the stupid kids, the kids who didn't pass the test. I'm sorry, you guys are good at your own talents, kids. You're not stupid, you don't know what talent you have in. So those kids, the human kids that got adopted, is probably those who failed at tests, right? The Mr. Hartman saying that when she's entering this place, it feels like she won't get to get outside after this forever. She's gonna live in here forever. Does it mean that? So Stella saying the test, the kid they want to adopt got tested, and then they're angry because Stella didn't know what it means, or maybe she's faking it, I don't know. So if the Mr. and Mrs. Hartman gonna be enemy for the company, means that they got killed in here, maybe, I don't know. Do we know Jeremy is? Or maybe at this time she didn't know yet about that, and then she got told, and then she got confused and sad at first, but then she realized but then after Mr. and Mrs. Hartman maybe got killed, then Stella knew that her life in danger, and then she's faking it that she's loyal to Lilith, Pierre, and the other higher ups, But then from behind them, maybe she wants to free the children. So the prototype knew Stella's weaknesses. She's like the most the softiest among the higher-ups. So the prototype used that so she used the Omni Hand. So after that, the security when the Hour of Joy happened, it's because of her. Oh, by the way, when the security seminar always gonna happen, but then there are accidents, was it because of her too? Wait a minute, what about the theater incident? Or no, not her, I don't know. Who did that? Maybe the prototype. The burning thing? Who can burn? So there's some speculation that the prototype has flamethrower hand for his right or left hand, I don't know. So that's why Kissimisi got scared and got burned. So yeah, maybe that's Stella's role. She's one of the employees that always coming back at every chapter, right? Now what's Rich's role in this game, huh? Is there any chance that Rich was the player's mentor? So sometimes I'm thinking that was the player has been adopted from Playcare in here, but then I'm thinking, oh, maybe at that time he failed his test, so that's why he can go outside, so he can grow up to a human being, normal human being, and he doesn't know why Playcare has scientists for the toy factory. Sometimes I'm thinking something like that. What if he's Ollie? You'll know why I'm always thinking that. Sometimes I'm thinking that he's Ollie because my random thoughts when I was sick. Okay, I'll just watch again. You know what, at this point I'm thinking that this person is this person, and then this is person, and this person, and this person, and turns out in this person is this person too. And it turns out they are one character. Whatever. I'm getting crazier. How can the FNAF theories don't go insane? I think there already are. Maybe they are. So Crafty Corn is screaming. So probably Crafty Corn killed or eaten by the pig, right? Maybe that's why she died. Maybe. I wonder if there's any secret in some of the employees in this place, the counselor office, because we can open some of them or many of them, but we couldn't find anything. So maybe is it just for, oh, this is their office, this looks like this, or is there any important in that except that? I mean, excluding that. So we've seen only Stella's office, right? And Elliot Ludwig's office. What about Liz Pierre, the doctor office? Have we seen him? I mean, he's probably in the main laboratory. What about Eddie and Warden? We probably have seen Warden's office, maybe. Yeah, I think so. The camera ship is really having a beef with battery right now. The first one is easy. The second one doesn't want to break the glass. So the sound of gasping for breath when wearing the mask, is it like a male or a female's voice, and in chapter 4 I think the player gasped and sounded like a man. When he got shocked or something, he sounded like he's gasping, like like whatever, and he sounded like he's a man. The dream sequence, find the flower. It's probably Poppy's. You get what I mean. Poppy in really Poppy's room. So the factory is at the forest. In the forest? In the middle of the forest? This isn't a place you come back from. What does it even mean? You mean the dream? So she told the player to wake up? Or what? So it feels like Poppy's entering the player's dream, just like chapter 2, when Poppy's so the player was passed out. Wait, is it because of the red gas? So in chapter 2, the player probably passed out because Poppy's red gas from the case, and then the players dreaming about VHS maybe, and some kind of voices and some kind of foreshadowing like playground, and then Poppy's face, and then like some kind of arena like play care arena or playground arena, some kind of foreshadowing, and then Poppy's face, even though she's already somewhere else, not in the same room as the player, still passed out. So in here, the player hearing Poppy's voice when dreaming, hallucinating. It feels like she's brainwashing the player, or maybe she could have like some kind of ability to enter people's dream, because this game, Poppy Playtime game, revolved around red gas, Poppy, red gas, and dream, eternal dream, right? Does she have an ability to enter people's dream? And I'm overthinking about the new case that the prototype gonna give to her, and she doesn't want to leave that new case forever. I wonder if it's like she's daydreaming, she's like fantasy, so she's gonna fantasizing about good things, happy things with her friends maybe, and the children won't get tortured, and maybe that's why the prototype said that she will never want to leave her fantasy. And is this the new experiment for her? So she's asking a bunch of things, like, do you know what happened here? Do you know who we once were? Wait, do you see why we have to end this? I think this is like Poppy's trying to control or brainwashing or motivating the player to fix things, just like what's her goal all this time. So I think before this, the player is just gonna leave. Now the player has the same goal as Poppy after all of this dream sequence and all of the players doing in this chapter and remembering things. Do you even know what's real? And she said, no, you don't. Is this the answer for the last part? Like, the players can't difference about the real one and the fake one? For the questions before, when the players sing things like the play care, home sweet home and things, so I guess the before one, the answer is yes, right? Means that the players know something's like the experiment thing, but he can't see the real world, right? That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe the answer of all of them are no, you don't. But the way he's seeing kids on orphan, on home sweet home, it means that he knew, right? I don't know. Wow, I love this dream sequence. And the fact that someone's showing the player about the screams at the hour of joy, it probably means that that person can enter into the player's thoughts, right? Right? It's like someone's visiting someone's dream. Can Poppy do that? Well, maybe. She's definitely suspicious. Or is it still just the player's thoughts about the hour of joy? For now, he doesn't know what's happening except like the killing and things, so for now it's just his speculation about the hour of joy. And then after that, Bobby's giving the VHS. So Catnap said, "Leave, play care, or I'm coming for you." What's his mission from the prototype? What's his mission? Maybe it's like, "Hey, Catnap, can you protect your territorial and chase the player out, but don't kill him, just scare him away?" Maybe only that, but then after, yeah, I'll talk later. Wait, so the dome has a system to change from the day to the night, like for generator. Wait a minute. So with generator or without generator thing, sometimes it's like lighter or sometimes it's like darker, the sky. So it was day to afternoon and then evening and then night. It means that one day. If you watch the story so far from Mob Entertainment YouTube channel, we knew that it was from 25th January 2005 I have no idea how to read it, to 27. Chapter 3 is in 27th, right? It's been 3 days, 1 chapter, 1 night. 1 day. So the player is a human. He's not tired. Or, well, in chapter 4 he looks like he's tired. Or maybe hungry and thirsty. Okay, I'm glad that they give the gamers goals like root power from the Sky Dome. The gamers were very confused about whatever Ollie said about the last key, especially the distracted gamers. Yep, they're really more good This time with update for the lights, more kind to the gamers about the light so they won't get lost in this maze. One of the things that tickling my mind is how could this huge battery get transferred into from whatever the prototype was to the blah 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 below the statue. Get what I mean? How could he transfer it? About VHS tape, about the prototype and the doctor. So the prototype said that he is learning something new about the doctor every day. Is it the voice? So about the place when the final boss with Catnap. So why is Poppy is chosen to be the guide? Why not a fake Ollie? So probably fake Ollie said to Poppy that he couldn't reach the player at that place. For some reason he's faking it, and then Poppy's using her phone to guide the player and hoping that it's coming true. I think. I mean, why the prototype is lying that the phones can't get to whatever the player is. So many times he's like static, blah blah blah. I can't say it. I can't get through that place. Static, and then he's always doing that. Maybe he wants to. Maybe at the same time he doesn't want to help the player to kill his allies. Or maybe he's just gonna figure it out and test. Can the player figure things out without guide? And this place is originally didn't have Poppy's guidance, but they put guidance in here because to make it easier for the player to understand things. So I guess that's why the developer chose Poppy as the guide in here. But sometimes I'm thinking, Poppy, are you the prototype? Well, in chapter 4 they like kinda interact together from voices, so maybe it's impossible they're the same person. Well, not face to face, but from voice. So yeah. And the way Poppy is saying, please don't die, she sounded very cold. So does it mean the player all this time didn't die when the gamers died? I mean, if this Poppy is real Poppy, does it mean like the way to revive the player is like not easy as it seems? So she's saying please don't die because it's very complex to do so. Maybe it could hurt her because she's reviving the player a lot, or not. If it's the prototype, well, he needs the player to stay alive somehow. For what? I don't know. Well, if it's about who's reviving the player, well, Poppy Flowers for reviving. I mean, in mythology, it's for reviving people. And who's Poppy? That Poppy, yeah, the doll. There could be like a high chance that she could revive someone because she kept saying get up and wake up. And do you remember when the doctor is activated again, Poppy or whoever that person is saying wake up, and then boom, the computer is on. The doctor as computer or robot is on. So maybe that's her job in the company. Just like Hakiwagi got a job as a security, Mommy as the guide in what you call it again? Game station. And Poppy is to revive people with or without her consent. I appreciate the way they're trying to make the third final boss is different from the others, but the thing is, it didn't show how the full potential of Catnap as character. How fast is he? How strong is he? How flexible is he? It felt like the prototype told Catnap to take it easy to the player. Well, he said that Catnap loves to stalk, but the thing is, this isn't the right time for him to just stalk and not just attack him. And one of the thing I didn't like about the final boss is how quiet it is. Well, I know it's stressing, and if the soundtrack is too loud or to make you badum badum, doki doki, heartbeat fast, it would get the gamers out, and then they're gonna frustrated a lot more than this. But the thing is, it's too quiet. If I'm gonna rewatch it, it's just too quiet. But if I'm the gamer, I might love this because it's not so stressing. Well, it's already stressing. Okay, I'm trying to analyze whatever's happening here. So, at first, Catnap got burned, and then the prototype trying to reach with his hands, but not. It's like, how do I say it in English? At first, Catnap is like backwards, sliding backwards, and felt like he's scared of the prototype. His hand is like with the skin at top. How do I say it in English? His hand telungkup, ya gitulah. And then Catnap felt scared, maybe because he thinks that he couldn't be used as the prototype's bodyguard again, so he's scared that he's disappointing he's scared that he's disappointing his he's scared of disappointing his boss. So when the prototype changed the position of his hand, telentang, I don't remember the way it is, like outside maybe. What is inside and outside? I think inside, the inside hand, as if he's saying, I'm gonna help you, or come on, just like the way the prototype was helping Catnap when it was a long time ago. So after that Catnap accepted everything, and then he worshipped, doing his worship pose to the prototype. It means that I'll do anything for you. He said that, as if he said that. And then the prototype, Catnap knew what's happening with Mommy Longlegs and others. So Catnap accepts that his body gonna be used for the prototype's plan, no idea for what. And then after that, the prototype changed the position. His position is like the sharp, and then he plunged. He pushed his fingers to kill Catnap. So it's not entirely betrayal, because Catnap accepts that. Well, it's manipulated. He got manipulated or things, but he's so loyal to the prototype. And once again, I'm asking, so the player should have known that the thing is the prototype. Why didn't the player say something to Poppy? Because Poppy said that in chapter 4 that he's coming by now, he's following us. But the thing is, the player has seen the prototype is from chapter 2, as if stalking him. Well, maybe what she meant is just maybe what she meant is just for her. She haven't seen him, but I think it's meant for Poppy, Kissy, and the player, the trio. Why the player didn't do anything, didn't say anything, I don't know. And this is why I'm suspicious about the player. Okay, let's think about the player's psychological condition. When he was working, he's probably the type of employee that will do anything what his boss saying. So in short, he's a pushover. He's just gonna do everything, the task, without complaining. Maybe the player is the type of person. I miss Green Hand, by the way. He's so cute. And by the way, the Blue Hand is such a bestie to the gamers. About the lines about "You've made your choice, you're staying to help Poppy." Is this like so is it like, does it mean as a gaslighting that the player doesn't have any choice to do whatever he likes? Or maybe this is his choice now, after Poppy whispering about whatever's happening in this place. Or is this like the way the developer is saying that the player is staying with his own choice? What's this line symbolized for? Man, the way the fake Ollie is saying things is so suspicious. And poor Catnap, really. Whatever, for what all of this fake Ollie is saying about Catnap, he didn't feel love. Catnap doesn't feel love when he was still alive. So all of this, chapter 3, we're thinking, what's this red gas diverted to? In chapter 4, we thought is for destroying the entire factory, but the prototype as the fake Ollie, as Poppy's informant, thinking that this red gas is to destroy the safe haven. Why? Because the safe haven is somewhere Poppy could take a rest too. Somewhere that she has friends, kinda, and Joey that could possibly destroy him somehow, because he could like get into a little gap. So he wanted to destroy the safe haven. That's the goal, right? I love when the gamer's trying to find Poppy. Poppy's talking like a lot, but then where is she? She's still in the ventilation. So who made this? The VHS summary about the Hour of Joy? So probably the doctor has the CCTV, the file CCTV, and then who edited it and who put those video in VHS, and then that person gave it to Poppy. Who? I mean, maybe if the prototype, who's a great editor, give it to Poppy from the tube, the functional tube, the very very useful tube, so Poppy got it. Amazing VHS though. They're really working hard. They're really working hard for this game. Good job. So Casey was like tied up, right? I mean, not so tied up when the Hour of Joy came for relocation thing. It means that there's something that can make Casey suddenly got berserk. It's like, do you guys know the technique someone's using as to hypnotize people, like the psychiatrist to hypnotize people? It's like from this is from the movie. I don't really know what they're doing with in the real life. So in movie they use some sort of noise. It's like mengetuk a glass. In here the prototype used an alarm to make them go berserk, and when the train crashed, it's after the alarm too. So maybe the prototype could hypnotize people or living organism from the noise. So in Sleep Well music video, she's like seeing blood too, and in here she's saying that I remember hearing every moment of it. So it's maybe they're like in confirmation that there's some time when the Hour of Joy came, Poppy was still outside the case, but then after argument she got locked in the case, and then after that she could only hearing things. I think this could be a confirmation how different the prototype with Poppy's thought. Poppy's thinking that senseless slaughter, that's all it really was. She disagreed with mass murder because one of the things, the innocent got killed because of that. Maybe, well, I think it's easy to use Poppy because of her obsessiveness about trying to fix everything. By the way, Poppy's voice actor is really really good. I almost cry every time I hear these lines. And in chapter 4, wow, she's so good for her VHS. By the way, how could Poppy doesn't need to eat something to stay alive? So we knew that the prototype is the one who doesn't have digestive system. It means that it's either Poppy is the prototype or maybe she doesn't have a digestive system too. But from the writing on the ventilation when we got chased by Huggy Wuggy, it said that leave her to die. So she could die. But does she need to eat? I don't think so, because she's in the case for like maybe at least 10 years. I don't know how long is. And she's sleeping. But the thing is, when you're sleeping, you still need food and vitamins, proteins, and things. Like when you're in coma, you need nutrition too to stay alive. So maybe the red eye thing, because she's dying, and the prototype got a time limit for that. But is the prototype dying too, by the way? Is he dying? Can he die of starvedness? I don't think so. He doesn't need to eat food. Maybe he doesn't. Okay, the way Poppies said her lines to Kissy, she said it like babyish. It's like she's talking to a baby. Well, she's a trouble. Kissy Missy is a trouble, so you must talking like a baby to her. So Poppy is like, just hold tight, okay? She's like very soft towards Kissy. What is Kissy to Poppy? Maybe she saw Kissy as her child, her sister, or what? And when she's talking to Joey, was she using baby voice too, baby talk too? I don't remember. I think she used like a very soft voice too towards Joey. But when she talks to the player, she talks like an adult, or maybe young adult, like adult to adult, you know. It means that she's kinda an adult, but at the same time she's too naive to be an adult. Well, if you're Poppy, if you're living her life like a Poppy, then you can't be more your age maturity can't be normal as it should be. Yep, so soft. Her saying to Kissy, so soft. Maybe she saw Kiss as a bestie, a child, or sibling, younger sibling maybe. The way she is talking to the players like playful, like a friend at the same age, or maybe adult to an adult. And one of my comment about Poppy's lines, sometimes they cut at the timing of their cut is not perfect. It's like she's saying something and then 1 second later it then cut. It's supposed to be like 0.01 second later it's cut, so that the scene, the screams, Kissy screams next, doesn't sound like, hey, I'm waiting for your screams, can you just scream now? Like that. Can you understand what I'm saying? And I've been thinking a lot about why Kissy didn't go to Bilal with the player and Poppy. Maybe it's about safety. So if there's something happening that go up, so just imagine this: a prisoner, a monster, taking the elevator, the lift, and then that monster could get into the top of that elevator. So as someone as security, you don't want that monster go into the playcare, right? That's why you need somewhere like the button or the pull up, the pullover, the pull thing, the tool to pull things outside the prison area, so that you can still catch them from playcare area or the gas station area. I don't remember to call it. So maybe that's why Kissy got left there alone, even though maybe three of them can go down together. Or maybe if there's happening in elevator, at least Kissy still can like control from the top, maybe. And from why the player and Poppy still going down and not helping Kissy right now? Well, I'm thinking logically, if the prisoner could get into the elevator, there's no way they could pull the system from the elevator because it's gonna be dangerous. So maybe that's why they went down, and somehow Poppy could save Kissy. How? That's why I'm questioning chapter 4 too. Sometimes the ending and the beginning of Poppy Playtime chapters are confusing. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, Michael Kovac is like everywhere. Dr. White, rich scientist. And yeah, we can hear Rich voice. It's easy to know him. But Dr. White and scientist. Wait, what? He's saying things as Dr. White when in here? Which Dr. White? The Bruno White or the presumably PW? Hoi. You know what? I'm confused. Let's just sleep. Whatever. Bye. I'm too tired to think. I'll see you tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. No, just forget it. Forget what I'm talking about. But somehow Michael Kovac not acting as the prototype. What? Wait. So he doesn't have like his file or something? I mean, Dr. White and the scientist voice. Or Rich. Does he have like data to try to act like Rich? So goodbye right now. For now, I'm too tired to think. I'm getting more delusional and crazy at making theories than the past. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.